Hey everybody, hey live, hey Instagram, hey YouTube. It is good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this. Y'all gonna have to bear with me when it comes to this Instagram. Trying to get everything situated. Sometimes it's just more than what I know how to do. So, hey, everybody. So glad that you guys joined us. Thank you so much for your continued support. Those who were with me yesterday, you guys got the opportunity to see my family and the boys. So thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Wait, let me turn this down. Hey, everybody. Hey, Natasha. I'm so you are so ready for today live at 5. Listen, I am so ready for today live at 5. I talked to Dr. Will, and he is, hey, Elder Wilborn, Elder Deborah. He is on his way. He should be here in a few minutes. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Miss Taylor. So he should be here in a few minutes. But today, we have been speaking about and been talking about managing your emotions and not allowing your emotions to manage you. So that's actually been the theme for a couple weeks now. So today, we're going to be talking about, this is our first official um, takeaway Tuesday with Pastor Dana and Dr. Will. This is our first official one. And so I'm really excited about it. And let me just tell you something. We do this because that's what God says do. There were so many people who, hey, Peter, there were so many people who have been talking about some of the things that Dr. Will and I discuss and talk about. And we were just so encouraged that you guys were really getting what you needed. We were so encouraged that, we would get the feedback, the inboxes, the text messages, all of that. And always so excited that you guys walk away with something that you can feast off of throughout the week, and so and not just throughout the week, but throughout your life. And then every time that we come, just to add to that. So I am excited. I am overjoyed that you guys get the opportunity to really, really, really get what you need. And, we're not sitting in a church building, and again, we don't take anything away from the church because the Bible says, do not forsake the assembly. So you ought to be going. What we do should confirm what your pastor says to you, what Bible study, what you learn in Bible study, and what God speaks to you in prayer. Which then says, because today we're going to talk about kingdom citizenship. Hey, Daddy. My daddy is on Apostle Gilbert Coleman. We're going to talk about kingdom citizenship. So all that we do on Live at 5 really should confirm and reconfirm and encourage you about what's already been spoken to you. What's already been spoken to you. And then there are times when I know, you may not, sometimes not y'all, but we know people, you may not listen to the word that is coming in a conventional way. So God, I believe, will use these avenues to say, no, I spoke that to you while you were sitting in church, while your pastor was talking to you. But since you didn't want to hear it, I'm going to give it to you another way. And he'll speak to you through a billboard. He'll speak to you through social media. He'll speak to you through the news. Here's the key. Are we willing to hear and to listen? He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. You have to be in the place, in the position, in the mindset to hear what God is saying to you. And again, it's not going to always come through the front door. It might come through the side window or the back door. But make sure that your spirit is open and will and ready to receive what thus saith the Lord. You know, which brings me to this point. How's your prayer life? Lord have mercy, Jesus. How is your prayer life? I can share with you, and I'm waiting for Dr. Will to come in. Hey, Uncle Mine. My daddy is so encouraging to me. Y'all know how much I love my daddy, Apostle Gilbert Coleman. He just always, and he don't have to say a whole lot. He can say 2 words. And so I am grateful. But let me just say this. Sometimes we really just need to take a good look at all that God is doing and what he is saying, and adhere to what he says. We have to do it. Listen, if you are the one that's going to make change in the earth realm, the only way that you can make change is that you have to take what's being said, apply it to your life, and then act that thing out. You know, it involves your participation. So today we're going to talk about kingdom citizenship. And I miss you, Uncle Mine. And I want you to know that in this kingdom, right? In this kingdom, you have some rights, some responsibilities. But you don't get to have this citizenship unless you adhere to these rights and responsibilities. There are some legal requirements you have to meet. You have to meet the legal requirements of this kingdom citizenship. Can I talk? Okay, wait a minute. Because I got a question. Okay, these will be questions. Can you talk about the chapter of Obadiah as it pertains to today? Okay. Now, let me say this. When Dr. Will gets here, hold on. Okay, you mean, okay, I got you. And I want you all to ask questions. I want you all to ask questions. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm looking at questions and looking at the screen just so that I'm not missing out on anything. So, kingdom citizenship. Citizenship is gained by meeting the legal requirements of that nation, that state, or government. What requirements have you met as it pertains to Christ, God being your head, right? Him being the king in this kingdom. What requirements have you met? Now, the only way, and you all have heard it as well as I've heard it growing up, the only way to God is through his son. And which then says that I got to have a relationship with his son. So I want us at times, I want us to really think about this whole relationship thing. Because sometimes, I'm just saying, not y'all, but we know people, sometimes we think that we can get to where we want to be, or where we need, or we think we need to be by osmosis, and it doesn't work that way. You've got to have a sure relationship with God. You have to have. There is no getting around that. There is no sneaking in the back door. You can't, and I'll use this, when folks come, I'm sorry, when folks come to, sorry about that, guys, I'm at work, but sorry, I didn't mean to, Dr. Will, I'm waiting on you. When folks come into our country and they apply for citizenship, nobody opens the back door and says, come in. Nobody opens the back door and says, come in. But there are some requirements. There is this process. And so as it is in the natural, so it is in the spirit. There are some requirements. There is this process. You got to get to know the man who died for you. You got to get to know him. You got to be in relationship. You got to be in relationship so that while I'm in relationship, then can you just excuse me, Instagram, I got to answer this. This is one of my clients. You have to get to know, the person that can open up doors, that gives you or grants you privileges in this here kingdom. And when we're talking about the kingdom, we're talking about doing things his way. It's not our agenda. It's got to be his agenda. And when we walk in kingdom citizenship, that means that we have fulfilled the requirements necessary to abide in the kingdom. So, what is it that, and this is a question for you. It's not rhetorical, but you got to answer this. You don't necessarily have to answer this on here. But what is it that has been required of you by God so that those privileges that we are so desiring, right, that we can obtain, what is it that's been required of you that you haven't done? I was about to say this before the phone call, and let me say it now. This morning, I had a restful but troubled sleep last night. It was restful, but it was a little trouble. I had a lot of things on my mind, and I said to the Lord while I was getting myself ready this morning, when I woke up, I said to the Lord, I said, God, I need to be at peace. I need to be at peace with certain things that you have allowed to happen in my life. I need to be at peace. I want to tell you that there was a bit of struggle, for me, for a long time, not as much now, but for me as a single mom. My daughter's getting ready to go back to college on Saturday, and there's still a lot of things that she needs. Now, mind you, I don't, I always pride myself in setting up Dr. Will is in the house. Dr. Will is in the house. Dr. Will is in the house.
Is that the song?
Dr. Will is I'm gonna finish
Let's go to
this.
Fibers.
Yes, I'm gonna finish this statement.
Finish it.
So,
Good statement.
I always pride myself, on making sure that everything is together, no challenges, when it comes to having to, when she needs money for school or, she's got to go shopping, like all of that stuff. I pride myself on preparing myself beforehand. But yesterday and last night, I had a little bit of anxiety. And I had to
rebuke it.
The anxiety.
Rebuke the anxiety.
Okay? I had to rebuke the anxiety. Because I had to rebuke the anxiety because literally, it was overwhelming me. This is all while yesterday, while I was cooking for someone else, a pastor friend had a stroke. And hello, Apostle Avery. A pastor friend had a stroke, and I wanted to be a blessing in helping, with dinner throughout the week because they had children. And so yesterday I was cooking and I made dinner and took it over there. And so all of this is going on while I'm helping somebody else. All of this is going on in my mind. And my daughter sends me this long list. And I'm saying to the Lord, God, really, I need you to help me in this area. And that's why when you said what you said today, when we were talking, I said to myself, do I know, whenever there's challenges, Dana, do you know who you are and whose you are and,
yes.
and who you belong to
yes.
and where you reside?
Yes.
I am a kingdom citizen.
You are.
And because I'm a kingdom citizen, this anxiety stuff and worrying about whether she gonna have what she needs is out the window.
I tell you something. Here's a little. You said as it is in the natural, so it is in the spiritual. I heard you say it. Most Americans suffer because they don't understand their rights and benefits as citizens of the country.
I'm about to take some notes. I'm just going to listen. Right.
We struggle because we don't really understand the power, the authority, the rights and privileges that come along with being a United States citizen.
Right.
Because we don't understand the weight of voting.
Yeah.
We complain about what happens in government, but we don't show up at the polls. We don't have a voice in our community. We don't connect with people in our community to raise the issues in our community and affect our community. We do the same thing in our spiritual walk.
Yes.
Because we don't really have a true understanding of what it means to be a kingdom citizen, we also then fail to realize what rights and privileges go along with that.
Right.
So instead we complain about it. And when time comes for us to be active in doing something, we fail to do it.
Right.
We don't show up at the polls.
Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it's relevant, it's important that you know what citizenship is about. That you know what it means to be a citizen. Okay, froze on my face. Looking like a crazy person. It's important to know what it means, what your citizenship means.
Right.
And who you are.
We froze. I don't. Do they see it frozen too?
I don't know. Is we gone?
We froze. I hope you guys can still. If you guys can still, yeah.
Well, that might came back and then froze again.
And I'm still okay. I don't know. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, it's good now. Sorry, guys, we froze up, but so of course I always write down and take. So this question came along today.
Oh, questions. Can you talk about the chapter of Obadiah as it pertains to today? Yes.
That's why I said,
When?
well,
No?
she said when you can.
Oh, okay.
So, we don't get to it today. We will definitely get to it.
We love and appreciate your questions.
Yes, Lord have, because I was
Sister
like,
Vera, yes, we will talk about
that's my sister.
talk about Obi-Wan.
Yes. So let's go back to because you made mention today about knowing who we are.
Yes.
Knowing who we are.
Yes.
And I was going to say this right before you came in. This was another part of. So this morning, as I was praying and I said all of that, the Lord reminded me of a book that I had read some years ago, and I actually picked the book back up, which was by Dr. Cindy Trim, Commanding Your Morning. And so she did this atomic prayer. And in this atomic prayer, she made mention about knowing who you are. She makes mention about your citizenship. And the king, yes.
Shout out to Pastor Gail. I know she probably not on here, but shout out to Pastor Gail Womack. She preached fire on this thing Sunday.
Yes, Pastor Gail. I like Pastor Gail. She's short like me. I like her.
She's short. I don't know about like you.
Whatever. Hey Margot, my cousin is on. So,
hey, Margot.
So I want to stay there and talk about, this knowing who we are and how important it is. And then, because then I asked you a question, then how does that affect us emotionally?
Yes.
Because, so when you talked about the whole voting piece, let me tell you, my mind went back to, and this was right when the 45th was when they announced that he is the president of the United States of America.
Right.
And I'm telling you, for 2-3 weeks,
no surprise.
I heard people were like angered.
Yeah.
And I remember asking somebody.
Some of them.
Right, and I get it.
Yeah.
I remember asking somebody, well, did you vote?
Did you vote? Right.
Well, no. And I said to them, I said, I love you, but you don't have a right to complain. Snatching a lie out. I said, you don't have a right to complain. I said, you want to see change, but you're not willing to do anything to bring about that change. And again, I talked about it earlier before you came in. We have.
That's powerful because the same thing happens spiritually. You want to see change, but you're not willing to do what's necessary to bring about change.
It involves your participation.
Christians must stop praying for the homeless. Please, Christians, please.
Because you can do something.
Cut it out.
He said, cut it out.
You wearing me and God out. Like Christians that got money too.
I was about to say.
And I can say this because I'm in this category. Fat Christians. Praying for people who ain't got no food. Cut it out. Are you not? If you don't share your groceries, stop.
I think sometimes you use the word wearing God out. I think sometimes God sits and looks like, I gave you the answer to that.
Literally.
I gave you the answer to that. What are you doing? No, now this involves, again, your participation.
I gave you the resources to affect it.
Gave you the resources.
And instead of sharing the resources, y'all know gluttony is a sin.
It is. It is.
Gluttony is a sin. What's that got to do with kingdom and knowing who you are? Because you have to understand that you are the fix.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
Takeaway one.
Hold on. That remember today we official. We official. This is Takeaway Tuesdays.
Takeaway number one.
We are official today.
You are the fix.
My goodness. So takeaway number one is you are the fix.
Did I see my brother Apostle Coleman on here earlier?
Yes, my daddy is on there. Don't get it twisted.
What's
My
up, good
daddy.
sir?
My daddy, he
I
support.
wish we could get him down here.
How about that? Let's
I
get
mean, I
him
know
on the
that
takeaway
stratosphere
too.
level situation.
I know, right?
But I'll be ready to go there. I'll be ready to go there.
That's stratosphere, right?
We got an all round table one day.
We're about to do that. We're about to have the round table.
Okay.
My daddy gonna be at the round table.
Okay. You are the fix.
You are the fix.
Like every single thing God
I gotta
sees
come
in
up
the
with an
world.
acronym for fix now. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You are the fix.
She said she got to come up with the acronym of fix. Right. Every single thing God sees wrong in the world, He's given the kingdom the resources to correct.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, that's other things that are correctable. There are things that are correctable, societal issues that can be corrected. Hunger, poverty, imprisonment,
Right.
poor depression, emotional distress. You are the fix. I'm talking to the body now.
Right.
You the fix. And for everybody who say they not, you know, it's so much to look at, and it's so difficult because our nation is built on consuming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're consumers.
Right.
And we get so much into consuming, and in our spiritual nature too. We get so caught up in consuming, we forget to give out. We do that spiritually too. We show up, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. I gotta go to Bible study. I gotta go to church. I gotta hear the word. I gotta get in my word. I gotta go over this church and hear them. I gotta run on Bible study, go to this Bible study. I gotta go to this revival. And you take it in, 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 take it in.
Spiritually obese.
Gluttonous. And then at no point during the week, you got all this opportunity at your job, in your community, in the grocery store, when you're running your mouth on the phone talking about people, not you.
But we know people.
I just want to allow them to pick that up. You know, at no point are we putting out.
Right.
It's that you cannot just be consumers. Oh, somebody came up. Forceful international execution. With execution spelled
Intentional. Forceful, intentional.
Intentional.
You better come on
Execution.
here, Apostle Avery.
Apostle Avery.
All right, you are the fix. You,
You
are,
are the
the
fix.
forceful, intentional executor. What? I like that.
That's the high what too.
You're right.
That was
Ah,
the
yes.
good thing I'm already deaf.
Whatever.
No,
So-
we gotta put out.
Right. So when the word of God says, or let me say this, because we've heard it growing up, that you are a thief and a robber.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as it pertains to, you know, what you get
Mm-hmm.
and not giving it out.
Mm-hmm.
You are a thief and a robber.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to that, because I think we've had so many thieves
Mm.
and robbers in the body of Christ
Mm.
that the people,
That got good to you? Good.
because the people that we are stealing from are folks on the outside that don't even have a concept
Yes.
or understand what it is to have
Right.
what we have.
Right.
We stealing from them.
Yes. I don't have to speak because you spoke on it very well.
You know, you
That was good.
that's
Ditto.
crazy though.
Ditto.
No, but we
Right.
really got to think about that.
Right.
That you
Right.
are stealing.
Right.
Look, these are the people that God
Stealing their
said.
moments, their opportunities, their resources.
This the people that God said, go
Right. Go.
to the hedges highway.
Go what? Go out.
O-U-T.
O-U-T.
Go out.
Other unified territories.
Go out. That's good.
Obstacles, umbrella,
No.
tangerine.
And compel men
Compel them
to come.
no.
So that they could be
If
citizens.
you're not so caught up in your own selfish moment that you just want to keep it to yourself.
Are we selfish like that?
It's part of our culture.
How do we?
It's part of our culture. Raise your hand if you ever had too much food on your plate and you knew exactly where somebody was that was hungry. And you wrapped that food up and took it home so you could eat more of it later.
So we're going to stay right there. Let me tell you what your niece, yes, Chrissy, when we used to live over on the other side, where we used to live, off of Tabor, there was.
Is y'all out there? Y'all quiet out there at 5?
I know. Come on, loud. Speak to us.
Where y'all is?
We used to ride down. It wasn't Front Street. It may have been Front Street. We used to ride down Front Street, and there was always this guy that was. He was always on the street or either on the side of the street. Always had a sign, and I remember we were on our way somewhere. I think we were actually going to drop off plates at somebody else's house because we had a cookout. And we were going to go take food. Chrissy said, "Mom, can we pull over and give this man a plate?" I said, "But you know you taking that." She said, "Mom, we could go back around the corner and get another plate and make it."
We got resources.
Everywhere we go, even if we have come from somewhere, if they have a bag of chips, this is my children.
Right.
If they got a bag of chips and a soda and a water, I always have waters in my car. They're always, "Mom, let's pull over and give them this." Always. Listen, that's not something that is prevalent or prominent in their culture, in their age group.
Right.
That's not something, you know what I'm saying?
It's not an American culture at all.
Right. But it was taught.
Yeah.
It was taught.
Yeah.
They grasped hold of that, and now they're carrying that out.
It's important. It's important, and if you do it well, your personal culture in your family should override the greater societal culture. The cultural norms that your children experience should reflect your family, should reflect your values,
right?
And not necessarily that of the greater American culture. But a lot of times we don't do that. If we live the greater American culture, our kids will do the same.
And as children, we ought to reflect our father's values.
Yes, our family culture.
Which, I'm just saying, you know what?
We're going to have like exasperated moments on.
Because it's so important. We get caught up over the wrong things.
Yes.
In the body of Christ.
Yes.
We get caught up over the wrong things. Yes. And what matters, we don't do what matters.
What matters most?
What?
What matters? Real question. Hit us up. What matters most? What do you think should be the number one cultural tradition or cultural importance or moment of relevance in the kingdom, in the Christian kingdom?
Wow.
Greatness runs in the family. Very. Oh, okay. They. All right. What do y'all think? Real time, right here. We got a couple people that's active. What do y'all think is the most important cultural aspect of the kingdom believer?
I know you got the answer.
What is it?
Come on, talk back to us. What is it? Wait a minute. Can you focus? I feel like I'm sorry. I hope if, wait a minute. Let me get it.
Is that an iPhone?
I know you're not talking. We don't want to talk about your iPhone.
It's still an iPhone.
No, this is not an iPhone. This is my Android.
She clowning.
Did you get it?
X. James Jones, showing love.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, today on
we got a prize for James Jones?
We got on Pastor Mary's show. Nate Jackson was on Pastor Mary's show, and he said one of the most important things is that we gotta show love.
Show love.
Listen, I remember Apostle Gilbert Coleman preaching about your love presentation, and he was calling folk to the carpet because honestly, for real, we don't love like we say.
No.
We talk about it.
And it's okay because a lot of people don't know how to love. Right? So you have to learn how to love. You have to learn how to love. Takeaway 2. Learn to love better. Learn to love better. Brother Jones says, salvation is my prize. Right on, brother. Right on. Learn to love better. How do we learn? How do we love better? How do we learn to love better? Go back to children, right? Because you can learn everything from kids. How does a child learn to love better? Through direct contact of those who know how to love.
Yes.
So that means it's important that a child who's learning to love is spending time around others who know how to love. So in the kingdom, it's vital that we spend time around people who know how to love correctly, properly. We don't have to go into all this, a whole rundown of what love is and what love ain't.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Get that in your put that in your lunchbox. My brother, Pastor Craig, get that in your lunchbox. Carry that around with you. To love one another. Thank you, Elder. Thank you, Elder Debbie. To love.
Right.
Is the beginning of you really kind of coming into the culture of the kingdom.
Love is the beginning, Lord Jesus.
It's the actual aha moment. Because here's the hard part. If you really don't love, you're probably more of an illegal alien in the kingdom.
What? Did you just call people illegal aliens?
Probably.
Not harboring the fugitives.
I'm sure you're gonna work in harbors of
Go. What do you mean?
Meaning that like there are people in the United States, and I want y'all for a second to come outside of the political structure right now, the negativity of what it means to be a legal alien.
Yes.
Because there are some people that have come that are refugees from other countries, that their parents have brought them here to escape the travesties and the injustices that are going on in their countries.
Right.
Some of them come with visas, don't really understand the rules, don't understand the guidelines. Their visas expire. They don't leave the country, right? And especially when they have children. And if the children are separated from their parents, the children are here, don't know their visas expire. All of a sudden, they find that they are illegal, undocumented aliens.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Well, some of y'all parents brought y'all to church.
Come on, Dr. Will.
And even though your parents understood there were some things, you just got brought in.
Right.
And you did not ever have because you got into the aspect of doing kingdom things and speaking, you learned the language.
Right.
You learned the movement. You became active in the society of the kingdom. But the fact that you did not really become a citizen means that you both did not go through the steps of understanding what it means to be a citizen of the kingdom, understanding the requirements of being a citizen of the kingdom. I can say requirements 5 times.
I said it
because you
earlier.
don't understand the requirements of being a citizen of the kingdom, you also then really fail to embrace and really understand the benefits and the pleasure, the privileges, and the rights of citizenship. You are an illegal alien in the kingdom. Because the truth is, you look up and you can start to take self-inventory, and there's nothing better than checking yourself.
Listen,
right? Because it's hard to lie to yourself. People
really,
do it, but it's hard. It's hard to lie to yourself.
Hey,
right?
hey, everybody.
So if you can take self-inventory for a second and really start to ask yourself, do I really love people?
Let's sit on that.
like really check that in yourself. Do I love people? Or is the truth is, like, I go to church and I'm around these folks, but I really can't stand them.
You, please.
I truly have a disdain for people. I don't understand what it is. I say I love God because I've learned the language.
Right.
I do the motions because they've been taught to me. The behavior has been learned.
You taught me. Come on, go ahead, because
I say I love God, but how much do I desire to really have what you talk about, the relationship?
Right.
Does it? I tell you, listen. I say it all the time. I literally cannot go. It's to her dismay sometimes. I can't go but a certain amount of time without connecting with my wife.
Right.
I can't do it. Without talking to her, without knowing how she's doing, without finding out, do you need anything? Do you need anything from me? Without me getting something from her, without us having a moment. I cannot go but a certain amount of time without that happening. I get irritated, I get annoyed, I get lonely, I get sometimes anxious. There are times in the day I'll just pop up and be like, where's my baby? I haven't talked to her, I haven't spoken. I just got a text and say, is everything cool? I was thinking about you.
I'm about to cry.
Like we newlyweds.
Right.
And in the spiritual world, because this is love that brings that out.
Yes.
And the relationship of love that brings that out. In the spiritual world, there ought to be moments in your life. There ought to be moments throughout your day.
Come on.
Where you're like, you know what? I have not checked in with the Lord. Not to be super holy, and you ain't got to tell nobody. Ain't nobody got to know. You ain't got to announce it.
Right.
But there ought to be a moment when you like, Lord, you good? Are you all right? You cool with where I am right now and what I'm doing?
Come on.
Like, am I in the right? I'm on the right. Am I saying what I should be saying? Am I not saying what I should be saying? You know, Lord, just want to take a break and say, I love you.
That was part of my this morning, my commanding your morning moment, because I felt like, and I made mention to Keisha, this was like months ago. I said to her, I feel like I'm on this. Who said something? Somebody said something. I said I feel like I'm on that. I'm depleted, right? Because I am so busy doing this and that, and making sure this, and I might stop and pray for a moment, and God, I thank you. And God said to me, no, I missed my time with you. Whitney Fitz used to sing that song. And this morning, when I tell you I took a station identification break, because today was my late day, I came in late today, and when I said I took a station identification break.
If y'all know, y'all know what that look was.
It was my late day.
And my sister said today was my late day.
Yes. So I took a moment.
Keesh.
And I took a moment and I prayed my whole morning. Y'all gonna leave me alone.
Sorry.
My whole morning. I was just praying and I said, God, are you pleased? I'm about to cry. Are you pleased with where I am?
Right.
Are you pleased with where I am?
Some of the violent behavior.
Are you pleased with where I'm going?
Right.
And if not, God, speak to me.
Yes.
Because I know that he'll speak to you. If I come to my brother and say, listen, I need to talk because if I go to my dad, if I say, Dad, Apostle Gilbert Coleman, I need to talk because, God speak to me.
Yeah.
The other day, and I don't know if I did talk to you about this, about something that the Lord had given to me a while back about pastors, a place for them to go and to rest.
Yes.
I told Keisha, I said, I need you to look up, I need to purchase some property.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And I wanted to talk to my dad about it. You have given me some insight. I listened to both of y'all. You've given me some insight. And then, let me tell you what happened.
Get the Instagram frame.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all. And then the enemy said, you don't have no $1 million to purchase no. But here's the thing, right? Had I Not been so consumed, and I'm not saying that we should not do what God has called us to do, but had I not been so consumed with other things, the prayer, the day that I missed prayer, that might have canceled what he was saying out. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it is so important.
And here's a moment in that. Here's a moment in that moment of your citizenship.
Right.
Right. You don't have $1 million. Right. I don't. But
I love it.
there's resources in the kingdom already for it.
What?
See, that's understanding. That's understanding your place in the kingdom.
Right.
That's understanding that God has already. And listen, you don't even have to go to God and beg Him for resources.
Ooh, I'm about to cry for it.
Because it's already
Done. It's done.
It's already done. If Mama baked the cake in the morning,
what?
you don't have to go to her at night and say, Mama, when is the cake going to be ready?
It's already
done. All you have to do is figure out what you need to do to access the cake.
Yes.
How do I get the cake that's already baked and sitting on the table? What I got to do? It's already done. All the resources are there.
Right.
Like, here's the kingdom focus, right? Kingdom focus. The earth is the Lord's.
Yes.
The world and all that dwell therein. That means, get out your head for a second. Every billionaire on the planet still falls under the Creator.
Yes, come on.
So if every billionaire on the planet still falls under the Creator, still falls under the King of the kingdom, all you need to do is figure out, what do I have to do to have access? That resource is already there.
Right.
But see, y'all got to understand. Y'all got to understand the provision. Y'all got to understand that God allows riches to flow so that His people will have resources.
Ooh.
It's already done. You got to figure out, what do I do to be able to access it? Just like any parent, you can't come to your mama sideways.
No.
You can't act any way you want.
No.
You can't come at your mom side-eyed, disrespectful. You ain't said 2 words to her in a million years, and all of a sudden you want access to cake. Oh, you bake cake, Mom? I'm gonna get me half. Whoa. Mom, most of the mamas I know will tell you, don't step foot in my kitchen the way you've been acting. So the provision is there, but you don't have access most of the time because of your behavior.
Did you just say that the reason why
You don't have access.
we don't have access is because of our behavior? Is that takeaway 3?
That feel like takeaway 3 to me. The reason we don't have access is because of our behavior.
That's takeaway 3?
Yes. Watch why I take away 3. Because look how I tie to the rest of them. Because your behavior doesn't line up with love.
Whoa.
And love is not inspiring you to understand that you are the fix. You have to take
Listen.
Debbie hit it. Elder Wilburn hit a great point. Some people have not experienced love. They've not felt love, and so it's hard for them to give love.
Because of our behavior.
And I get that. And that's why it's important for kingdom citizens to be able to be diligent enough to share love, to give that love to others. Because people who haven't experienced love needs to experience it from you. You are the fix.
Dr. Will.
Learn to love better so that your behavior will line up and you will be granted access to all the resources you need. I'm Dr. Will. This has been Takeaway Tuesdays.
Oh, this is
Apostle Coleman, what's up, my brother? Love you, man.
This is good. This is so good. So we're gonna recap. I'm gonna go over. Although I know that our wonderful great administrator has been putting them up as she is hearing them. Shout out to Keisha White.
Never late.
So, takeaway 1. Remember, this is Takeaway Tuesdays. We're going to always give you something to take away. What is the key to taking it away?
Take it away means take it, ingest it, allow it to digest, and then affect the way you do things. All these takeaways are about behavior change. Any takeaway you ever get is about behavior change.
I'm excited.
You are to fix means you have to change your behavior now and start to address when you see people struggling or hurting, and you have to start to do something to be that fix.
That's number
Learn
1.
to love better is about your behavior. It's about a behavioral change. Learn to love better. Place yourself around people who know how to love. Get in the Word. There's a whole list. We said it before. There's a whole list of what love is, what love ain't. Right?
Yes.
Get it. When you find people are impatient with you, that's not love. When people are unkind to you, that's not love. When people are rough with you and the way they handle you, that's not love.
Some of us might need to repent right now.
Learn to love better.
I'm just saying.
Learn to love better.
And then number 3, the reason we don't have access is because of our behavior.
Self-explanatories.
What? Y'all, I don't know about you all. I'm just saying. This. For the first official Takeaway Tuesday. Knocked it out the park. Boop! This was good. Thank you, God. This was really good.
I love y'all.
Yes, absolutely love you. And here is my prayer, that everything that has been downloaded, that we don't become.
I like we got a big.
Wait a minute. That we don't become, and I say don't become because my mind says that we've canceled out us being thief and robbers.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So my prayer is everything that we've gotten today, that we take this, we apply this, and we give this.
Yes. Put it back out.
Put it back out.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
That's majorly important.
Yes.
So it is 5:54. So Takeaway Tuesdays, I would love for us to be able to go over the time.
To
5:50. Right.
Nice.
Right. So Takeaway Tuesdays will be a little bit longer because we got Dr. Will in the house. Dr. Will in the house. Dr. Will in the house. Will in the Listen, if we can't laugh and have fun,
Then learn to love better.
what? This was so good. We absolutely love you guys. Thank you for being supportive.
Yes.
Thank you for, always, listen, I'm grateful, and I know Dr. Willis, I am grateful that you guys are on every day at Live at 5. I am really grateful. To the gram, y'all know, I'm still learning the gram, y'all, so y'all got to help me a little bit. But to the gram, y'all know I love you. You have become my heart, for real, because I'm still learning. Live at 5, y'all know we do what it do, right? On Facebook and on YouTube. Listen, I'm so excited about this whole YouTube channel and page and all of that stuff, right? I'm excited.
I'm excited.
This is something.
Well.
All right, so let me tell y'all what's next.
What's next?
Radio and TV. Here we come.
Okay.
Seriously. It is going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
And I'm just saying, I'm ready.
I'm still wearing my red sneakers.
You can wear your red sneakers. because this gonna be our own
Thank you.
radio and TV.
I got the blessing of my rare speaks from Pastor Craig. So
Yes. So we love you guys. Thank you again for joining us. And I always say this: those of you who are new,
to Brother Alfonso DeShiel.
yes, Pastor
That
Al.
was a big So follow up. I'm gonna stay on. I'm gonna look for it later and see if you had something you wanted to add, or a question, or a critique, or a complaint. Bring it. Share it. I will respond.
Natasha
Love you
said,
guys.
"Y'all are great together, spreading knowledge to the people of God."
Oh,
Natasha
thank you,
Natasha is our online manager. She is
okay.
on all the time.
Hey.
Every live at 5.
Hi.
Every live at 5. Listen, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share, what we have been talking about. They go Dawn. Say, hey Dawn.
What up? Sentence.
Make sure that you share. Make sure you subscribe to
Brother
the
Alfonso
YouTube.
was good. Right on, brother.
That's Pastor Al. We absolutely
right on,
love
Pastor
you.
Al.
We
Bless
absolutely
you, man.
positively love you. I will see you tomorrow right here on Live at 5. Dr. Will be in the house next Tuesday for Takeaway Tuesday.
Takeaway Tuesday.
We love you guys. Peace.